Hey guys, it's Lovely Black Lace, and this is part B of how to gauge your ears. Basically, now you know how to gauge your ears, and there's some tips and stuff like that that you should know that goes with gauging and stretching your ears. One of them is don't skip sizes. When you skip a size, it makes it too large for your ear to recover. So it's going to try to find a way to fit that. If you're going to force it in, it's going to try to find a way to fit that through. And what it's going to do is it's either going to do a blowout, which is where the tunnel that your ear tries to make gets pushed inside out. It's very painful, it's very disgusting, and basically then you have to take out your gauges and, well, just the one that's blown out, you have to take it out and let it heal. Like, you can put in a small earring or a hoop or something like that to keep it from closing up all the way. But, you know, I've heard some people say you should try to push it back through and let it heal. I'm not recommending that, but it's just an idea for you to try. You'll also rip if your ear is really thin and you tape your ears and you do it too much. If it gets really thin on the edge, it'll just open. It'll open up and it'll rip. And there's tearing where it will not do a blowout where it turns it inside out, but it'll tear on the inside, which is very painful. It can cause infections, and you have to take it out also. So either way, if you're going to be stupid and skip sizes and stuff like that, it's really going to ruin your ear. Even if you don't get a blowout, or if you don't get a tear or a rip, it'll ruin a lot of the elastin and collagen that's in your ear, and it will not shrink back to the right shape and the right form, or as fast as regular correct way to gauge. The wait times I said in my other video, but if you had skipped it, just to let you know, if you're between size 20 or 18 and a 00, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for it to heal completely before you can gauge again. When you go and gauge it or stretch it, you're going to wait 4 to 7 days to let it heal before you put in your plug, or if you're going to keep your taper or your pinchers or whatever you're using to gauge it with, if you're going to keep that in, you need to take it out and clean it. My way of cleaning is using a cup. This is the lid from a mousse container. You can use the lid on your peroxide, which is something that I suggest that you have. And you fill it up, and I'm going to use these as examples, and they fit like a lot. And for tapers, stick it in the side that your ear would go in, and then fill it up so that it covers, and which would be about like right here. And then about like halfway through you could flip it over and do the other side, but you really want to get this side because this is the side that your ear is sticking to. And do that. You can pop off the rubber bands if you want to and stick them in there separate, and let them soak until they're done pretty much bubbling, and then take them out, take off the rubber bands, and rinse them off with some warm soapy water, and then either lay them flat to dry or dry them with a paper towel, or whatever else you want to use to dry them, something clean. And then either wet your ear or something like that. You want to wash your ear with mild soap and water also, and wet it a little bit so that it'll slide through without being, it's hard to do it when it's completely dry. So make sure you have a little bit of either just a tiny bit of ointment or some water to slide that back in. If you were a 00 and above, it takes a month for it to heal completely before you can gauge again. When you go larger in sizes, not the number but the size, but when you go larger, it takes a longer time to heal because it is dramatically larger. Like, instead of going little sizes between, I'd say 18 and 8, it takes big steps. So you're going to want to make sure you do it right. Don't skip sizes, don't force it through. Don't use weird objects to gauge your ears, like things like this. You know, people would use to gauge your ears. This is a makeup brush. You don't want to use that. You don't want to use pencils, pens, weird stuff like that because bacteria and stuff like that, and it's gross. It can harm your ear. It's not the right thing for it. If you get blowouts, or if your ear's too large, or anything like that where it causes permanent scarring, which you will have forever, even if you take out your gauges, you will still be able to see it. If you go too large of a size, there is reconstructive surgery that they do, but you can still see the scar. They have to actually cut your ear and sew it back together to make it look like a normal earlobe, but you can see kind of what looks like a star in the middle of your earlobe. It's not that noticeable if you're far away, but if you're up close, you can see it. They say that 00 is the point of no return. Basically what that means is if you gauge up to a size 0, 00, you have a higher chance of gauging or going back to a normal size like 18 if you ever decide, I don't want to have big holes in my ears anymore. But if you go above that, you're probably not going to go any smaller than like a 10 or an 8, I'm going to say. If you know for sure, leave a comment below. And if you have any tips also, you can also leave comments to help other people and myself. I have a shower trick. Basically, my peroxide bath thing, you can also use really, really, really hot water and put a antibacterial soap in here and kind of mix it around. And that'll work pretty good. It helps to soften up the gunk, the stinky stuff, which is just dead skin cells and oils and buildup from the inside of your ear that sits on your gauge. And if you move your gauge or anything like that and you don't clean it for like a couple weeks, it stinks. Like it goes around you. Other people can smell it. It smells like death. It's disgusting. So you want to really take care of your ears and make sure that it doesn't stink. But while you're in the shower, take out your gauges, put them in your bath thing, and let them soak. Jump in the shower, wash your ears really good, and while you're doing your thing, and then get out, rinse them off, and put them right back in. Instead of taking like 20 or 30 minutes out of your day just to sit around and do nothing, you can do it while you're in the shower. And that's my shower trick that my friend Richie led me on to. So there's a pinch trick that I use when like once I got to larger sizes. I'm at a size 4, but once I gauged to a size 4 and a size 2, it started to hurt really, really, really bad. So I developed a pinch trick. I didn't really develop, I'm sure somebody else does this, but you see like right behind where you have this meat where your crease is, it would hurt when I would go to push it through, which you don't force it too much, but just until it's unbearable or uncomfortable. I would pinch it really hard, like you want to try to touch your fingers through your skin. Basically that's what I do, and it hurts up here instead of right here where I don't want it to hurt. You should expect it to be red. It should feel hot to the touch. It'll be swollen and sore for a couple of days. Usually if you accidentally flick it or if you sleep on it, it's gonna hurt. So you'll learn different positions and stuff like that. There's slight pain. It's not unbearable. I'm a real wimp when it comes to pain, and I can handle it, so I'm very sure you can handle it too. And that's about all that I have. If I have time in this video, I'm going to try to show pictures of people with gauges, different cultures who gauge their ears as like a religious thing, different styles of gauges and plugs, and blowouts, rips, and tears to kind of scare away the faint of heart. It's a serious commitment, like a tattoo. You know, you're going to have pretty much permanent damage if you go above a size 00, and just prepared to deal with that for the rest of your life. You know, that's what you want, then that's what you want, but you also have to remember there's consequences later on, and do you really want that? So just be mindful of those things, and you know, take care of your ears, and your ears will take care of you, and follow the steps that I've had. Leave comments about if you thought the video was good, if it helped you, or leave your own tips and advice for other people's and for myself. And I think that's about it. So don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.